Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson for Catholic News Break. Here's what's happening this week in the news. We begin from the Vatican. Pope Benedict XVI met with the president of Lebanon at the Vatican this past week. In a statement, the Vatican said that the meeting served to highlight how Lebanon, because of the presence of various Christian and Muslim communities there, stands as a message of freedom and respectful coexistence, not only for the region, but for the whole world. Rome Reports has more on the meeting.
Michael Sleiman, the president of Lebanon, visited Pope Benedict XVI at the Vatican for the second time. He is the only Christian president in the region. They exchanged views on the riots that have been sweeping through the Middle East and asked for an urgent resolution to the conflicts. Speaking in French, they also discussed the struggles for Christians in the Middle East. The two spoke privately for about 30 minutes. According to the Vatican, they have highlighted the importance of collaboration and dialogue between Christians and Muslims, and stressed that the presence of Christians and Muslims in Lebanon is a message of freedom and respectful coexistence throughout the Middle East. The official statement underlines the importance of civil and religious authorities to educate the consciences for peace and reconciliation. Sleiman was accompanied by his wife. He gave the Pope a 16th century gold and ivory incense burner, which came from a Maronite monastery.
Looking now at news from around the country, Monsignor Lloyd Torgerson, pastor of St. Monica Church in Santa Monica, California, said in an interview that Jean and Scott Adam were extraordinary people who wanted to make a difference in the world and who died sharing the Bible. The couple, along with two other Americans, were killed by their Somali captors on the high seas off the coast of East Africa. Monsignor Torgerson said that the Adams were active members of the parish and they died doing what they wanted to do. When news of their capture reached the priest, the church offered all of its weekend masses and a candlelit service in the Adams' name. After the four Americans were reported dead February 22nd, they were remembered at 3 masses at St. Monica's Church. According to news reports, the couple had gone on many sailing adventures over the years and carried Bibles with them to distribute to people in the communities they visited, including poor villages and hospitals. Monsignor Torgerson told Catholic News Service that after they retired, they sold their house and bought a boat, which they named Quest, and then decided to bring Bibles to the remote corners of the world. When word came that the Quest had been captured by Somali pirates, a Navy warship began following them. The scene turned deadly when gunfire erupted on the boat, and the Americans were killed. In other news from around the country, in a statement issued this past week, the U.S. Bishop's Office of General Counsel said the Obama administration's decision to no longer support the Defense of Marriage Act in legal challenges represents an abdication of its constitutional obligation to ensure that laws of the United States are faithfully executed. The statement was issued in response to President Obama's recent order to the Justice Department to stop defending the federal law passed by Congress and signed into law in 1996 by President Bill Clinton. United States Attorney General Eric Holder said that although the administration has defended the 1996 law in some federal courts, it will not continue to do so in cases pending in the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Unlike in the previous cases, said Holder, the Second Circuit has no established or binding standard for how laws concerning sexual orientation should be treated. The U.S. Bishop's Office of General Counsel said that the principal basis for the president's decision is that the president considers the law a form of impermissible sexual orientation discrimination. The Office of General Counsel went on to say that refusal to support the law was a grave affront to the millions of Americans who both reject unjust discrimination and affirm the unique and inestimable value of marriage as between one man and one woman. And finally in the news, the former director of the Pontifical Council for Social Communications at the Vatican, Cardinal John P. Foley, is retiring and resigning from his post as Grand Master of the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre of Jerusalem in Rome. Cardinal Foley, who is 75 years old, was diagnosed in September of 2009 with leukemia and anemia. And the Cardinal said that he has been getting progressively worse and weaker and doesn't have the energy to perform his duties. The Cardinal, who was the former editor of the Catholic Standard and Times in Philadelphia, has returned to the Archdiocese of Philadelphia permanently, residing at Villa St. Joseph. He said that he could not really fulfill his position as Grand Master of the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre and didn't think it fair to continue on in the post. The Cardinal said he felt privileged by his association with the organization. The Knights are a fraternal organization dedicated to supporting the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem and responding to the needs of Catholics in the Holy Land. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.